Welcome back to the Daily English Talk, your go-to channel for mastering the nuances of the English language. I'm your host, Liam, and today we're diving into a common pitfall that can make your English sound a little, well, very basic. And joining me today to help us elevate our vocabulary is our wonderful guest, Chloe. Welcome, Chloe.
Thanks, Liam. It's great to be here. I'm excited to talk about a word that I know many of us, myself included at times, tend to overuse.
Exactly. The word in question is very. It's a useful word, of course, but it's often a shortcut that prevents us from using more descriptive and impactful language. Think of it as a placeholder.
It really is. And when you replace very with a stronger adjective, your sentences instantly become more vivid and engaging. It shows a higher level of English proficiency.
Absolutely. So, let's get started with some common phrases and see how we can improve them. Chloe, what's a common phrase where we might use very?
A classic one is very happy. We all feel happy, and sometimes we want to emphasize that happiness.
Right? So, instead of saying, I am very happy, what are some alternatives?
Well, you could say, I am delighted. That conveys a strong sense of happiness, often with a touch of pleasure or excitement.
Delighted. I like that. It sounds more sophisticated. What else?
Ecstatic is another excellent option. It means overwhelmingly happy, almost to the point of being beside yourself with joy.
Ecstatic. That's a powerful word. Imagine someone winning the lottery. They'd be ecstatic.
Precisely. Or perhaps after achieving a lifelong dream.
And for something a little less intense than ecstatic, but still stronger than very happy,
Pleased can work, but it's sometimes a bit understated. Glad is also good. But if you want to really express a significant level of happiness, thrilled is a fantastic choice. I was thrilled to get the promotion.
thrilled. Yes, that works perfectly. It implies excitement and happiness. So, we have delighted, ecstatic, and thrilled. That's a great start for very happy. Definitely. Let's move on to another common one. Very sad.
Ah, yes. Very sad can sometimes sound a bit flat.
Indeed. What's a more impactful word for feeling very sad?
Miserable comes to mind. It suggests a deep unhappiness and discomfort.
Miserable. That paints a picture, doesn't it? Like someone stuck in a dreary, unpleasant situation.
It does. And if you're feeling even more profoundly sad, perhaps heartbroken, you could use devastated.
Devastated. That's a strong word, implying a severe emotional blow.
It is. And for a more general, but still significant, level of sadness, grief stricken, or simply heartbroken are very effective.
Heartbroken is definitely one we hear often. So for very sad, we have miserable, devastated, and heartbroken. Excellent. Now, how about very angry?
Oh, that's a common one too. When someone is very angry, they're not just a little annoyed.
Right. So what's a word for someone who is extremely angry?
Furious is a great replacement. It means extremely angry, often to the point of losing control.
Furious. I can picture someone fuming, red-faced.
Exactly. And if they're even beyond furious, you might say they are enraged. That's a very intense level of anger.
Enraged. That sounds like a primal, overwhelming anger.
It is. And for a slightly less intense but still significant anger, incensed is a good option. It means very angry, often because of something perceived as unfair.
Incensed. That's a good one to remember for situations involving injustice. So, furious, enraged, incensed for very angry. Perfect. Let's try very tired.
This is one I'm guilty of using often. I'm very tired after a long day.
And what's a better way to express that exhaustion?
Exhausted is the obvious and best choice. It means extremely tired.
Exhausted. It immediately conveys a much deeper level of fatigue than very tired.
Absolutely. And if you're so tired you can barely function, you might say you are worn out or drained.
Worn out and drained. Those are great visual words. You can imagine your energy being depleted.
Exactly. So instead of I'm very tired, try I'm exhausted, I'm worn out, or I'm drained.
That's a much more vivid description of your state. What about very big?
Very big is another one that's ripe for improvement. Think about describing a building or a mountain.
Right. Instead of the building is very big, what could we say?
Enormous is a fantastic word. It means extremely large.
Enormous. That's a classic. What if it's even bigger?
Gigantic or colossal are excellent for something truly massive.
Gigantic and colossal. Those really emphasize the scale.
And for something large in a more abstract sense, like an enormous problem, you could also use substantial.
Substantial. That's a good one for things that aren't physical objects. So, enormous, gigantic, colossal, substantial. That covers very big nicely. Indeed. Let's move on to very small.
Very small. Instead of the ant is very small, you could say tiny. Tiny is a very common and effective replacement.
Tiny. Yes, that works perfectly for small things. What if it's even smaller?
Minute is another good one, especially for things you can barely see. Pronounced minute.
Minute, like a tiny detail or a minuscule insect.
Precisely. And for something that is insignificant or almost non existent, you could use negligible.
Negligible. That's a useful word for quantities or impacts. So tiny, minute, negligible, excellent. Now, let's consider very good.
This is another one that's often overused. The food was very good. Instead of very good, you could say excellent. It implies a high quality.
Excellent. That's a strong endorsement. What else?
Superb is another wonderful option, suggesting outstanding quality.
Superb. I like that. It sounds very refined.
And for something that's exceptionally good, you might say outstanding.
Outstanding. That really stands out, doesn't it? So, excellent, superb, outstanding. Those are all great. Now let's flip it to very bad.
Very bad. Imagine describing a terrible movie or a disastrous event. Instead of, the movie was very bad, you could say terrible
Terrible. That's a direct and strong replacement.
or awful. The weather was awful.
Awful. That's another classic. And for something truly dreadful, you could say horrendous.
Horrendous! That sounds truly awful, something to be avoided at all costs.
It does. So, terrible, awful, horrendous. Those are much more descriptive than very bad. Definitely. Let's try very interesting.
This is a tricky one, because interesting itself can be a bit vague.
It can. So, if something is not just interesting but very interesting, what can we say?
Fascinating is a wonderful word. It suggests something that captures your attention completely.
Fascinating. Yes, that implies a deep level of engagement. What if it's even more captivating?
Captivating is another good one, or intriguing, if it sparks curiosity and a desire to know more.
Intriguing. That's a good word for mysteries or puzzles. So, fascinating, captivating, intriguing. Excellent. Now, let's consider very important.
Very important. This is often used in professional or academic contexts. Instead of, this is very important, you could say crucial.
Crucial. That implies it's essential, vital.
Exactly. Or vital. This information is vital for the project's success.
Vital. Yes, that emphasizes its necessity. And for something of extreme importance, you could use paramount.
Paramount? That sounds like the highest level of importance, the absolute priority. So, crucial, vital, paramount.
Perfect. Let's do one more common one. Very scared.
Very scared. When you're not just a little nervous, but truly frightened. Instead of, I was very scared, you could say terrified.
Terrified. That's a strong word for intense fear.
It is. Or Petrified. That suggests being so scared you can't move.
Petrified, like a deer in headlights.
Precisely. And for a more general, but still strong, sense of fear, fearful or apprehensive could work, though that they are a bit milder than terrified or petrified. But for very scared, terrified, and petrified are excellent.
So, to recap, instead of relying on very, we can use stronger, more precise adjectives. For very happy, we have delighted, ecstatic, thrilled. For very sad, miserable, devastated, heartbroken. For very angry, furious, enraged, incensed. For very tired, exhausted, worn out, drained. For very big, enormous, gigantic, colossal, substantial. For very small, tiny, minute, negligible. For very good, excellent, superb, outstanding. For very bad, terrible, awful, horrendous. For very interesting, fascinating, captivating, intriguing. And for very scared, terrified, petrified.
That's a fantastic list, Liam. And the key is to practice. Try to catch yourself when you're about to say very, and pause for a moment to think of a better word.
That's the best advice, Chloe. It takes conscious effort at first, but it quickly becomes a habit. When you start using these more descriptive words, your English will sound more natural, more sophisticated, and much more engaging.
It really will. It's like adding color to a black and white picture.
Exactly. So, viewers, we encourage you to try this out. Make a conscious effort this week to replace very with more powerful adjectives. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. And let us know in the comments below what your favorite replacements for very are, or if there are any other very phrases you'd like us to tackle in a future episode.
That's a great idea. We love hearing from you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Chloe. It's been incredibly helpful.
My pleasure, Liam. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, everyone, for watching the Daily English Talk. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tips on mastering the English language. Until next time, keep practicing and keep speaking.